Friends, you know that at Sarat Chandra IAS Academy, we have Sarat Chandra Junior College, wherein we train students for different competitive examinations along with intermediate. We call this course as Intermediate with IAS Foundation, wherein we train students in the basic humanities, history, geography, economy, polity, environment, along with current affairs, with which they'll be able to write different competitive examinations. As we train them in arithmetic, reasoning, English also, so they'll be able to write exams like CLAT, CLAT exam to go into national law universities, and IPMAT exam to go into IIMs, and CUET exam to go into Delhi University and other central universities, and also IIT HSEE exam. And recently we have talked to the students who cleared IIT HSEE exam and some of the students of Sarat Chandra Junior College, a part of Sarat Chandra IAS Academy, who cleared CLAT exam, IPMAT exam, HSC exam. We have interviewed them. So today I have with me Bhavana and Veda, who studied intermediate with IAS Foundation and passed out this year in 22. Both of them have cleared CLAT exam, CLAT CLAT exam. Bhavana got seat in NLU Nagpur and Veda got seat in NLU Vizag. And Veda is once again writing, she is writing CUET exam, Central Universities Common Entrance Test Examination, because she is aiming to go into Delhi University. So today in this discussion, we will try to find out the strategy followed by Bhavana and Veda during their course of 2 years of intermediate that made them crack CLAT examination. Congrats once again, Bhavana and Veda. So tell me, Bhavana, if I have to ask you, what is the single most important thing that helped you crack the CLAT exam and get a seat in NLU Nagpur?
Yeah, sir. CLAT, which is Common Law Admission Test, is mainly based on reading passages. We have 5 questions for every passage, based on which we have to answer the questions. So I would say that reading different kinds of content is the most important thing we have to practice to crack this exam. For this, I would recommend newspapers, because this is where newspapers help both in current affairs section of CLAT and both in reading content. And I would like to say I would thank Academy for helping me to read newspaper, because newspaper can be read in different kinds, but CLAT demands a different perspective for reading the newspaper. So this is where Academy helped in what way to read the newspaper, and what way should helps us to crack the CLAT exam. And apart from newspaper, I would like to suggest that people should start, those who are interested in taking this CLAT exam should start reading from day one. If you have a reading habit, you'll definitely have an edge over other fellow aspirants. So I would like to thank my parents, because they've cultivated a habit of reading different kinds of books apart from my academics. I've read books like To Kill a Mockingbird, Atomic Habits, 1984, uh, and many more. It's not that you have to read only one type of books, or don't bind yourself to one type of genre. You have to read different kinds of contents. This is where newspaper editorials help you a lot, because editorials focus on different kinds of issues which happen in current, which happen in the present day. So your GK is getting improved as well as your reading. So please do read a lot.
Okay, so as Bhavana, so you are telling that reading habit really helped you crack the CLAT examination. Friends, CLAT examination pattern has changed in the last 2 years. Every question, almost every question comes from passage. So you have to read a lot of passages in the limited time. So reading skill is very important. Coming to Veda. So Veda, tell me, if I had asked you, what is the single most important thing in your preparation that helped you crack this examination, CLAT exam?
Sir, first of all, I would like to express my gratitude to the Institute for developing an interest in all the subjects. The Institute has taught me many things, like it did not restrict me to one subject. I learned many things after I came here. And as soon as I started my intermediate, the pandemic hit. So the institute did not stop teaching. Through online classes, we learned a lot. And all the 6 months or 1 year or 1.5 year, different subjects like economy, polity, history, culture, and science and technology, current affairs. Even in the pandemic, my parents encouraged me not to stop learning, and the academy also encouraged us by online classes. And CLAT exam, what it demands is knowing of different subjects. The passages are not restricted to only one subject, but we cannot expect that the content in the passages comes from only one subject. It is very diverse. So it is very important that we do not restrict ourselves to just one thing. We need to read like different kinds of content, books, novels, whatever we are interested in. But basically, the thing is, reading is very important. And also, my parents encouraged me a lot to read books from a very young age. So I think that also has helped me a lot to clear this CLAT examination.
Good, Veda. So both of you, one common quality in you is that you already have got a good reading habit. And see, most of the students from Andhra and Telangana go for engineering or medicine, MPs, BPC. Most of them do not know the opportunities present in the exams like CLAT, IPMAT, HSE, or most humanities based exams they do not know. Tell me, after you finished 10th class, as you joined our Sarat Chandra IAS Academy for intermediate, at the time, what forced you to choose humanities instead of science or mathematics? What forced you to choose humanities?
Sir, to answer this question, I would like to say that from the very beginning, I knew that I wanted to do something really different. I wanted to get into civil services, and also after 12th standard, I wanted to crack different examinations, and because this would let me know where I stand among the competition. So before the civils, this is like a test match for me, and humanities is an interesting subject, and it would also help us in clearing civil services examination, because they overlap the subjects in humanities like history, economics, and polity, and so many things in the syllabus of GS papers, they overlap. So that those are some reasons why we chose humanities to complete our intermediate. So, frankly, I'm not interested in maths or science, so I am left with arts. But it's not like if you're not interested in art or science, in maths or science, you are left with arts. There is a lot to do in arts. So when I am left with arts, arts has different subjects. We have political science, economics, we have culture, we have history. So this is where you can with this, you can get to know your personality well. I'm really grateful that I've taken arts, because that is where I've come to know myself. So that is why I've chosen humanities as my subject for intermediate. And this has helped me in my CLAT preparation, because had I taken maths or science, I would have struggled a lot, because it's not so easy to manage maths or science with CLAT, because CLAT demands entirely a different preparation, which is very different from maths or science. So taking humanities and arts would definitely help you a lot. And it's not only about clearing CLAT. You will have a lot of exams to take, like a CUET. You can take IIT HSEE. You can take IPMAT, which are all based on arts. So it is very advantageous to take even arts.
So, friends, like how Bhavana and Veda said, exams like CLAT, IPMAT, IIT the syllabus in this examination is very similar to the foundation of IAS exam. For civils examination, the syllabus is history, geography, economy, polity, environment, current affairs, arithmetic, reasoning, English. So same syllabus at a fundamental level will be there in these exams also. That is the reason why at Sarat Chandra IAS Academy also, in the Interpress IAS Foundation, our idea is not to keep the students here for 5 years. The idea is not to ask students to stay for 5 years for IAS coaching. For first 2 years, they learn the basics of humanities. With that knowledge, they will be able to write these exams like how Veda and how Bhavana cleared CLAT exam, like how Srivanila cleared IAM exam, and how Himanshu Manadev cleared IIT HSEE exam. Like the students clear CUET exam also. However, some students who want to go into CLAT along with the law, they prepare for UPSC. Those who want to go into BA or BBA in IAM or DU, they can continue preparation for civil services. So civil services is not something which you can pursue only with a single degree. Through any degree, you can pursue civils coaching. So yes, coming back. So tell me, Veda, in the preparation for CLAT, mock exams play a very important role. So roughly, can you tell me how many mock exams you wrote and how these exams helped you?
Sir, firstly, I would like to tell all the aspirants who are writing CLAT this year or next year that mocks are a very integral part of the CLAT preparation, and you need to start taking mocks right from the day you start preparing for CLAT exam. It is not like I will start writing mocks after I complete a 1% of a portion, X percentage of a portion. It's not like that. Your learning from mocks is different. Your learning from classes and concepts is different. So they both need to go hand in hand. So writing mocks is very important, and I have taken personally more than 50 mocks, and it helped me a lot. Mocks help you understand where you're weak in your weak areas, your strong areas, and how to improve on your areas, and where you lack, where you gain. So they are very important. Without mocks, it is your CLAT preparation is like incomplete. So it is very important that you start writing mocks from the very first day of your CLAT preparation. Yes, sir. So the thing about mocks is the more mocks you give, the best the great advantage you have in exam. So giving more mocks is important, but you have to do it in the right way. What we have done is, as we are approaching the exam, like when we are in the last phase of exam, say when we are a month ahead, what we have done is we have given a mock a day. It's like we have given every single day a mock. This is really going to be difficult, because I would suggest not to do this. This is a mistake that we shouldn't do. What you have to do is start preparation for CLAT as early as possible, and in the initial phase, give at least one mock a week. And as you're going deep, and as you're approaching your exam, you increase the frequency of your mocks. Make it 2 a week and make it 3 a week. You do it like this. It's not that as giving more mocks is important. You shouldn't pile it up till the end of the day. This is not correct, because giving mocks is as important as analyzing them. See, when we have done this, when we have given a mock a day, what we didn't do is we didn't analyze them, and this is where we have failed. So please don't do that. Schedule your mocks. Schedule it once a week in the initial phase. As you're approaching your exam, you increase the frequency, and make sure that you analyze it thoroughly. Make sure that you analyze every section of it, every question of it thoroughly. This is very important, because in the exam you're going to have 150 questions, 150 different questions, and 150 different questions is you have to be able to answer every single question thoroughly. This is where your experience with questions increases. This helps a lot. So analyze it perfectly and thoroughly. Time factor is one thing which plays a very important role in CLAT examination. Like, there is 120 minutes given, 2 hours is given, and in that time we need to answer 150 questions. So if we give 3 hours to any person, and if we give the CLAT paper, everybody would get all the answers correct. But what makes the difference here is the time factor. So for that, mocks play a very important role. We would get ourselves adjusted to answer 150 questions in a limited time. So that is why mocks are very important. And as Bhavana said, writing mocks is not enough by itself. We need to analyze the mocks thoroughly. If we write more mocks and more mocks, and leave them without analyzing, it's going to be waste. So it's better if you connect with a friend, or you develop a study circle, and then if you analyze your mocks together, then you'll get to know what your mistakes are, what your strengths and weaknesses are. You'll know where you have to improve, and you'll know how to overcome your weaknesses, and get more strengths in your strength areas. So that is how you need to use the mocks.
Okay. So 50 mock exams, whether it's like a very good number. So though we conduct some 30-25 exams, I encourage all students to take some other mock exams from online also, so that they get exposed to different types of mock exams rather than exams only for our institute. And coming back to Bhavana, tell me how you prepared for critical reasoning and analytical reasoning, because critical and analytical reasoning is a very important section in the CLAT. So what have you done for that?
Critical reasoning and analytical reasoning come under the part of logical reasoning. Again, I suggest you all to read a lot of content, because this is where you get exposure with different kinds of content. And CLAT is nothing but they'll give you a passage. They'll ask you 5 questions based on the passage. So what happens is, when you read a lot, you'll get to know different kinds of content. You'll get to experience what are different subjects existing in the world. So any passage they give you in the exam, you will be able to take it easily. You'll be able to take it comfortably. So that is where reading plays a lot of role. I would highly suggest to start reading from the day one. It is as important as you're taking the exam. So in critical and in logical reasoning, we have critical reasoning and analytical reasoning. Analytical reasoning is nothing but you'll have analytical aptitude concepts like blood relations, like coding, decoding, like number series. So I would like to suggest that you can prepare for the concepts, and practice as much as questions as possible for analytical reasoning. Coming for critical reasoning, you'll have to have a great critical sense. You'll have to have analysis for every passage you have. So that is where reading helps you a lot. And go for a lot of books like R.D. Sharma, and much more. Institute helps you a lot, and you can surf through internet. You can get to know about different types of questions that have a chance of getting asked in exam. Yes, sir.
So, friends, in CLAT examination, we have logical reasoning, legal aptitude, English, general knowledge, and arithmetic aptitude. So, now Bhavana told us about the logical reasoning. Coming to legal aptitude, legal reasoning, legal aptitude. So, tell me, Veda, for legal aptitude, what should be the approach?
Sir, first in legal aptitude, a judgment is given, like a real judgment which was passed in the country by a Supreme Court or a High Court. That kind of a thing is given, and questions which are based on that principle, a set of facts are given, and then we need to decide. Like we need to judge it, and out of the 4 options, we need to decide what is the appropriate thing for that. Actually, we can even answer the questions without knowing the concepts before. But what is the advantage with knowing the concepts before is the speed of our reading increases. Like we have to definitely first complete all the things in legal reasoning syllabus, like law of torts and law of criminal torts, and law of constitution, and contract law, and family law. And we need to cover all of these, and then we need to start practicing questions on these things. So once we are clear conceptually, we'll be able to answer the questions much more easily. And the main thing is practice for legal aptitude. The many questions we practice, the many cases we'll feel familiar with, and we'll answer the questions with ease. We'll be able to answer the questions with faster speed. Yes, sir. So I would like to add something. Yeah, please. So this is where mocks play an important role, play a very important role, I would say. So for legal reasoning, first all you have to do is be thorough with the concepts, because it is different. Legal knowledge and legal language is going to be different for you all. It is not going to be the same. It's not newspaper language, or it's not going to be academic language, or it's not the book knowledge. So what I suggest is be thorough with your concepts. If you don't have any coaching or any kind of material for you all, I would suggest you all to go with YouTube. You'll have a lot of classes in YouTube for each topic of law. So I would suggest you all to listen to the classes of the YouTube, and then start giving your legal reasoning test. And that is where mocks play an important role. You'll get to know a lot of passages. You'll get to know a lot of topics through mocks. That is where you'll get to know where you are lacking, in which topic of law you are lacking. So you can get back again to YouTube, and you can serve the topic again. This is how you can improve your legal preparation. as we both said, first clearing of concepts is very important. Along with that, practicing of questions in the mocks is very important. And also, we need to update ourselves with the current legal knowledge. Like, what are the legal events and developments that are taking place in the country? What are the important amendments and what are the important bills that are being passed in the parliament? This is very important, sir. And because there's a high chance that in the CLAT exam, they ask us about these questions, and they give us questions based on these principles and these set of facts, and they ask us to answer the questions. So current legal knowledge is also plays a very important role in our preparation, sir.
So see, just like legal reasoning as well as logical reasoning, and you told about English, how reading habits help in English rather than learning or spending most time on grammar for CLAT. Now coming to the next section. The next section is current affairs, general awareness. Friends, in the CLAT examination, instead of focusing on the last 4 to 6 months of the current affairs, like bank exam or RB exam, the questions are from almost last 2 years of current affairs. That means those students who, along with their intermediate, 11th and 12th classes, throughout both the years, if they have a habit of reading newspaper, that's the only way they can cover all the current affairs. If you try to take a list of all the important events in last year, prepare on that, you may not be able to answer, because most of the questions are not just from the important events but also from the peripheral areas. So you should develop a habit of reading newspaper. And now here, Bhavana, tell me, when you are answering the current affairs section of the CLAT examination, have you faced any kind of difficulty because the questions are from almost 1 year or 1.5 year back?
Yes, sir. I would say that this is the mistake done by us, because we have we have assumed that the current affairs which are going to be asked in exam will be only of last few months. That was a mistake. That was really a mistake. Please don't do that. Please be thorough with all the GK that is being said from at least 2 years. I would like to say, see, GK is definitely going to be vast. GK is everything under the sun. So I would like to say, from the last 2 years, go with the obvious topics, go with the most important topics that are running, and get the link. Because GK is this. Without knowing what has happened in past, you can't get to the present. So read GK with the perspective of history. You will get to because the GK, that the way GK is asked in CLAT is really different. It's not only about static knowledge. It's about static with a touch of history. It's with a touch of personality. Like one of the question in 2022 CLAT exam is, what was the profession of president of Russia before he was president? It was comedian. So it was so obvious. Anyone who's thorough with the news will should really know what his previous profession was. So it's like that. There's no point in freaking out that GK is so vast. One thing I would suggest is, don't miss the obvious topics. Surf the net, or surf the net and take the topics which are more obvious of last 2 years, and don't lose touch with newspaper. Newspaper updates you every single day, so don't lose that. As we already mentioned many times, here again, newspaper plays a very important role, not only helping us with our English and vocab, but it also helps us stay updated with the current events which are going on. And one thing, we need to keep a limited set of resources for our current affairs. Like, it's not like we need to cover all the magazines of all coaching institutes. We need to we need to stick to a limited number of resources, and we need to revise. Revising is very important in GK. And also, it is not like you read everything in a bookish manner. You take an event and you see its history, like you read it in an interesting manner. And to keep this interesting and not like boring, you can join with a friend. Like, personally, me and Bhavana have prepared together for CLAT, and we used to do current affairs together. Like, we used to see what the events are happening around the world, and we used to associate it with history, and what is the history of that event, and we used to prepare it like that. And it used to be very interesting also. So you can find a good friend to prepare for the current affairs section of CLAT. It would be very helpful, I would say.
Friends, actually, I'm happy that students of this age, though they are intermediate students, the way they read newspaper, the way they understand is almost similar to the candidates who are appearing for UPSC. Because even the candidates who finish their graduation and appearing for UPSC also prepare current affairs in the same way, read newspaper, discuss with the friends, the same thing. Now, coming back to the sections, coming to English section, so Veda and Bhavana, I think both of you have done well with the word power made easy. You have really focused on that help vocabulary, right?
Yes, sir.
So tell me, what is the best way to finish the book quickly? Word power made easy.
So, WordPA Made Easy is a book which helps us really well with our vocabulary. The book is not a reading book or a novel or something like that. We need to work along with that book. The book has many sessions, like it has close to 50 sessions, and if we keep ourselves consistent with that book and if we try to complete one session each day, it would be very helpful. It takes around like 2 months to complete that book, and at the end of our completion of that book, we would be very equipped with all the root words and root words, because the book helps us really well. So after root words, it not only helps us with the vocabulary, but after completing that book, not only the words in that particular book, but the root words which we learn in that book helps us in identifying the meanings of other words associated with that root in the newspaper or wherever. So in the CLAT exam, there are so many passages, and you come across so many different words that it's not possible to like know the meaning of every word. But if you read this book, there's a better chance that you know the meaning of the word, so you understand the passage better. When you understand the passage better, you'll be able to answer the questions in a much better way. So I would like to recommend all the CLAT aspirants to read this book, WordPA Made Easy. It would help you a lot in your preparation.
Okay. Finally, coming to the arithmetic. Friends, for arithmetic, the only thing you have to do is just practice more problems. That's all. Arithmetic, the number of questions are around 15 questions. And in the last few years, the pattern is changing. So just practice more questions. Actually, Bhavana and Veda both have taken HEC, History, Economics, Civics in our junior college. So from the arts background, so people like this who have taken HEC have to work a little more in the mathematics. Whereas students who have chosen MEC, Maths, Economics and Commerce, they can spend lesser time because they already will be little strong in mathematics. So that's how you have to prepare for the CLAT examination. And whether though you got an NLU Isaac, as you're aiming to get into DU, to do BA and DU, all the best with your CUCET examination. So congrats once again to both of you.
Thank you, sir.